Hello and welcome to Runkle of the Bailey. My name is Ian Runkle. I'm a Canadian criminal defense and firearms lawyer. So Alec Baldwin filed a motion through his lawyers asking for the dismissal of a firearm enhancement on the charges he was facing relating to the Rust shooting. Now, I recorded a video looking at the motion in some detail and commenting on it, and I pretty much had to throw it out for reasons that you'll see. Now, the reason why he was asking for the dismissal of this enhancement and the effect of dismissing this enhancement is to take the punishment from 5 years down to a maximum of 18 months. So that's a big deal. But the reason why he was filing this is because that firearm enhancement was only passed into law after the allegations of the Rust shooting. Now, that makes sense when you look at it, and that is in fact properly the law. You can't do that. You can't have retroactive punishments, because if you could, then none of us would be safe from the justice system. Anything that you might do today could be punished retroactively in future, which means that the government can basically punish anybody that they dislike. They could, for instance, decide that this model of pen is going to be banned, notwithstanding the fact that it's fully legal now. They could decide to ban it 6 months from now, specifically for the purpose of coming after me, because here I am in a video holding it up, and decide that has a penalty of 20 years in jail. Everybody would be at risk of this kind of mistreatment if that was allowed. And similarly, something that has a fine of $100 now, they can't turn around and decide that it's going to have 30 years in jail as a punishment down the road, because that would also be unfair, right? This would not be how we expect our justice system to treat us. So when Baldwin files this motion, the summary of this, is that this is exactly correct. And I have not exactly been, pro Baldwin on all of this. I've been pretty critical. The allegations against Mr. Baldwin suggest a degree of negligence and a degree of carelessness that is, quite frankly, horrifying, and which we know, we know that Helena Hutchins was killed. So I have not been, a Baldwin flag waver on this by any stretch. But that motion was properly brought and seems to be entirely correct. And the prosecution has now agreed to that. They have dropped that firearm enhancement, which is good, right? That's how the system should work. The prosecution goes, whoops, we screwed up. We shouldn't have done that. We're going to drop it. However, I have some comments, and I really hate to have to make these comments because I am kind of shocked and horrified. So these are some comments about the conduct of the prosecution, the conduct of the DA's office out there. And so I'm just going to read some quotes, and I'm going to link the sources of the quotes in the description below. But these are quotes from the district attorney's spokeswoman, Heather Brewer. And they noted that they had dropped the firearm enhancements to avoid further litigious distractions by Mr. Baldwin and his attorneys. And they also said, the prosecution's priority is securing justice, not securing billable hours for big city attorneys. They went on and they had some further quotes. And, as noted, I'm pretty horrified by these. They said, another day, another motion from Alec Baldwin and his attorneys in an attempt to distract from the gross negligence and complete disregard for safety on the Rust film set that led to Helena Hutchins' death. In accordance with good legal practice, the district attorney and the special prosecutor will review all motions, even those given to the media before being served to the DA. However, the DA and the special prosecutor's focus will always remain on ensuring that justice is served and that everyone, even celebrities with fancy attorneys, is held accountable under the law. Wow. The DA's office has really crossed a line here. What they're doing is they're basically attacking Alec Baldwin's right to a defense and his right to have counsel. They're basically putting it out there that these are things that we should view as making him more guilty, that he's hiring lawyers to deal with this, even though the motion he filed is clearly proper and clearly correct, and they agreed with it in the end. This just horrifies me. This is shocking behavior. I don't know why why they would be out there slagging his right to hire lawyers. This, to me, is very concerning. And as I've mentioned, I have not been super pro Baldwin. but it kind of makes me hope he wins just to kind of rebuke this. This is really concerning, and quite frankly, it makes me reevaluate some of where I'm coming from on this one, because at the point where this is how they're behaving, I start wondering if the details that they're putting into their charging documents and the public justifications they're making for their charges, for why they're proceeding with this, are accurate. I have been proceeding on the assumption that the prosecution is acting in the utmost good faith, because that's really their obligations. And when I see something that suggests to me that maybe they're not, that, this is really concerning to me, that they would denigrate his counsel and his right to, and just his participation in the process, that starts making me wonder what's going on here. I don't think that these comments were proper. I don't think that they were fair. I don't like Alec Baldwin. I don't like his behavior as it's been reported. I don't like any of this stuff. I mean, my dislike for him is contained to this. I don't like him as an accused person here, but he's still got a right to a defense. That is a fundamental and foundational thing here. So suggesting that this is a distraction when they agree with it, and when it turns out, this to me seems like they're throwing mud in order to avoid the embarrassment that comes from having overcharged by laying a firearm enhancement that was not available to them. Like, just say, whoops, we screwed up. We're going to proceed on the 18-month, thing because we think this case is important. There's all sorts of statements they could have made here that would have been perfectly reasonable. We have dropped the firearm enhancement. It was laid in error. However, we believe that this is a serious incident. The death of Helena Hutchins demands that we proceed. We believe that we have strong evidence, and that we look forward to litigating this on the basis of the correct charge. Cool, right? No problems with that. Anyway, those are my thoughts. I'm really kind of unhappy with what I'm seeing here, but let me know in the comment section below what you think. I mean, I'm always sort of open to differing takes on this one, and I'm going to say there's probably going to be people in the comments saying, hey, Runkle, this is a great time to eat crow. I still don't like, I still think Baldwin should properly be convicted, assuming the allegations are made out. But I have some questions. So in some ways, this has made this trial more interesting, because now I really want to know, is the prosecution going to be able to deliver on all of this stuff that they've promised? Can they actually establish any of these claims? Because if not, I'm going to have some opinions. Some real loud opinions. All right, thank you for watching. Please like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to see more content. I also want to thank my Patreon supporters at the $50 level, the CCFR, David Michaud, Canada's National Firearms Association, and the Canadian Shooting Sports Association. At the $30 level, Sights and Arms Limited and Jane Babin Luxor. And at the $20 level, Lindsay Metcalf, Kyle Fox, Haywire, Jail to the Bailey, Cameron Johnson, Andrew Elsich, and Vicky. Thank you as well to my $10 supporters who will be in the quell immediately following. Thank you for watching. I hope this has armed you with knowledge. See you next time.